you check the bottle? Does it look like a lot in it?
Yeah, definitely looks like a bigger yield than normal.
Okay, so my name is Whitney Ebanks. I am the entomology lab tech here at the Mosquito Research and Control Unit, and I have been working here for 7 years. The mosquito problem was so terrible that it used to suffocate the cattle because the mosquitoes used to fly into their nostrils. The Cayman Islands actually set a world record of 793,000 mosquitoes caught in one night in one trap. And in this picture, what you see here, this is only one of the 54 trays that were caught for that night. So what you're looking at right now is a New Jersey light trap. And how it works is that underneath the top of this top right here, you have like a little light bulb. And what that'll do is during the evening time, it'll turn on and the mosquitoes will fly towards that like an attractant. And inside of this trap right here is a little fan, and it works like a vacuum cleaner. So the mosquitoes will fly towards the light and they'll gradually get sucked down into the trap and eventually end up at the bottom of the bottle. What I do each morning is I go out into the field and I collect mosquitoes, and I will bring them back here into the laboratory and I will analyze them and ID them, and that will help me to create a report for the day to let my supervisors know if we need to do any control operations or if we can just leave the area alone for the day. So there are 25 traps on the island right now, including this one here, and they are 11 on the western side of the island, so that is from Red Bay all the way up until Barker's, and then the other half of the traps are in Patrick Island dikes all the way up to Tortuga. So it's a good network of traps that we have, and it's very important because we need that wide range of surveillance in order to see what's going on through the whole island. The main species that we have here right now are Aedes taeniorhynchus. That is commonly known as the salt marsh mosquito. That is the one that you'll probably feel biting you the most, unfortunately. We also have Aedes aegypti, that is the urban mosquito, so that is typically found in backyards. The difference between Aedes taeniorhynchus and Aedes aegypti, first of all, is their behavior. So the salt marsh mosquito, which is Aedes taeniorhynchus, is typically more aggressive in its biting style, whereas the Aedes aegypti is a little more sneaky, I would say. And the reason why that is that the Aedes taeniorhynchus is predominantly in the marshland, so there's not that much contact between humans and the mosquito, whereas Aedes aegypti is around urban areas, so it can afford to be a little more laid back in its biting style. New light bulb system, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the ray gauge is empty.
Wow, cool. Look at this. There's quite a few of them in there, actually.
Yeah.
I see a couple of beetles inside of there as well.
You see that tearing everything up.
Yeah. Well, we'll take it back to the lab and analyze it and see what we have up inside of there. But it looks like we got a good bit today. So just based off of our trap numbers that we had this morning, that's not indicative of having a problem in the field right now, just according to the trap numbers. However, we have to see what our guys in the field are finding in the swamps and everything.
Right now, this is the swamp inspections we do like twice a week. Pretty much we just come around, look around how many standing water around. We dip the water and try to find out any breeding in those waters. Today we find a couple of mosquitoes start breeding.
We know the areas very well because we spend a lot of time here. By taking your time, we can identify that we actually have to have a response here to do something about the mosquitoes breeding in here.
So what I caught today is completely different than what the researchers would have caught back in 1974. People can go out during the evening time and enjoy their activities. And the other reason why we're so blessed is that many of our neighbors are currently inundated with mosquito problems, whereas we in the Cayman Islands aren't. So I think that has a large part to do with the control efforts here at MRCU.